This weekend it's Everything Electric South UK in Farnborough. In today's video I'm going to let you know what there is to see, highlighting the things I'm particularly looking forward to. Why not join me in a virtual rundown? The format of this year's UK South event is a little different. Normally 3 days, this time around we only have 2 public days on Saturday the 11th and Sunday the 12th of October, with Friday the 10th reserved for a B2B event. That throws my normal video schedule off a little bit. If I did the video on the first public day, the Saturday, then it wouldn't be available enough time to help people decide whether to go on the Sunday. Therefore, this is a preview of what's on offer, and real footage of the event is limited to what was available on the B2B day today. However, we know what is at the show as the event programme is out, linked from the video description if you're interested in more detail, and so I can provide you detail of what we will be seeing, as well as share the way to get hold of this year's best discount code. As before, the show will be a mix of EVs, home energy and home heating products. Because I cover more about EVs than anything else, let's start there. One of the first places I shall be going is the BYD stand. They have 2 new EVs this year, at least new to me. The first car of interest to me is the Dolphin Surf. This isn't entirely new, it's been available for a few months here in the UK, but it's the first time I will have seen it in person. Launched as the Seagull in some other markets, the Dolphin Surf was originally expected to come with a sodium-ion battery, but instead has arrived with an LFP pack using the BYD Blade battery. Available in 3 trims, the car starts at just under £19,000 for the Active, with the Boost available just below £22,000 and Comfort a smidge under £24,000. The Active model comes with a 30 kWh battery and a 65 kW motor, and offers a respectable 0 to 62 time of 11.1 seconds. With 65 kW peak DC rapid charging power, this is no slouch when it comes to topping up the battery. The Boost offers a step up in storage over the Active, getting a bigger but heavier battery with 43.2 kWh usable capacity. Because it retains the same 65 kW motor but is carrying more weight, it has a slightly slower 0 to 62, increased by a second to 12.1 seconds. However, along with the bigger battery, we also get a higher peak DC rapid charging power of 85 kilowatts, allowing the car to retain the 30-minute top-up from 10 to 80% that the Active can achieve, if you intend to do longer trips. The top-of-the-range Comfort has a much more powerful 115 kilowatt motor, in combination with that bigger battery and charging system from the Boost. That brings the 0 to 62 time down to 9.1 seconds. All of the models come with the ability to charge at 11 kilowatts on a 3-phase AC charge point, allowing the Active to recharge from 10 to 80% in 3.5 hours at home, whilst the Boost and Comfort can do it in more like 5 hours. What I like about cars like the Dolphin Surf is the diminutive size. At just under 4 metres in length and just over 1.7 metres wide, it should be easy to zip about in our towns and cities. What's more, the instant torque of the electric drivetrain will make it feel responsive in those conditions, so it will be a fun thing to use for a regular commute, or to pop out for some groceries. If you need something a little bigger, or prefer a slightly higher stance, then you might prefer BYD's new Atto 2, another model I am keen to see. This car comes in just 2 flavours. The Boost offers a 130 kilowatt motor with a 51.1 kilowatt hour LFP battery. 82 kilowatt peak DC rapid charging power should result in a 10 to 80% recharge in 38 minutes, all for an on-the-road price just under £31,000. The Comfort variant has a more powerful 150 kilowatt motor in combination with a bigger 64.8 kilowatt hour battery, so it is both a bit more powerful and has greater range. On this variant, 155 kilowatt peak DC rapid charging shortens the 10 to 80 recharge to just 29 minutes. These upgrades add £4,100 to the on-the-road price, as the Comfort costs just a hair under £35,000. Both models come with 11 kilowatt onboard chargers, so the Atto 2 can also benefit from 3-phase charge points where available, and comes with a heat pump as standard for better winter efficiency. Next, to Dacia, as the Spring will be here again this year. However, news in the last couple of days suggest it's getting some upgrades for the 2026 model year. Both versions are to get higher power motors, each up by about 26 kilowatts from the older cars. The top model also gets a bump to 40 kilowatt DC rapid charging, higher than the 30 kilowatts from before. Furthermore, changes to the suspension and the positioning of the battery should improve handling, making it more capable when outside of the city limits. Hopefully we'll be able to hear more of these changes and its other upgrades at the show. Let's wait and see on that. Next up is Nissan. They are hopefully bringing 3 things of interest, starting with the new LEAF. The replacement for the outgoing hatchback is a crossover, which you have no doubt gleaned from elsewhere. Nissan are quoting a range of up to 375 miles on the WLTP test cycle and charging from 20 to 80% in as little as 30 minutes. That's important because it hints at a liquid-cooled pack, a fix to overcome the Achilles heel of the old car, which didn't have thermal management. We're expecting 2 variants of the LEAF, the 52 kilowatt-hour standard range that comes with a 130 kilowatt motor and peak DC rapid charging speeds of 105 kilowatts. 0 to 62 takes just under 9 seconds on this variant. Alternatively, the extended range variant comes with a 75 kilowatt-hour battery and an uprated 150 kilowatt motor. This has an increased peak DC rapid charging speed of 150 kilowatts, helping this variant retain that 30-minute top-up time despite the bigger battery. The uprated motor reduces the 0 to 62 time by about a second to 7.6 seconds, despite the car being about 90 kilograms heavier than the standard range model. Both variants are a little over 4.3 metres in length, about 7 centimetres longer than a Volkswagen Golf, but standing a little taller because of the crossover format. The second Nissan of interest at the show is the MICRA, which is heavily based on the Renault 5, a very highly respected car. It looks like there will be 4 models of MICRA available. The range starts with the Engage, with a 40 kilowatt-hour battery and 90 kilowatt motor. DC rapid charging speed peaks at 80 kilowatts. The Engage starts from £21,500. The Advance adds extra features. It comes with the same drivetrain as the Engage by default, but you can option an upgrade to a 52 kilowatt-hour battery and 110 kilowatt motor, which drops the 0 to 62 sprint by a second to 8 seconds. The base Advance starts from £23,500, with the extended range variant of it costing £25,500. Finally, the top level car is the Evolve. This has the extended range drivetrain by default. Along with some upgrades to the sound system, paint options and heated seats and steering wheel, this variant costs a little under £28,500. The exterior of the MICRA is slightly different to the Renault 5. Whilst the overall shape is the same, the design of the lights at the front and rear are quite different and distinctive. The interior, on the other hand, is almost exactly the same, bar the colours. Nissan are quite a long way behind their ZEV mandate target, so we have to hope that the LEAF and the MICRA will sell well for them. The final vehicle of interest at Nissan is the Silence 04. This returns to the show after an absence of about a year, as Nissan has taken on sales of the quadricycle formerly known as the Silence S04. If you have seen my reviews of previous shows, you'll know that I rather fell for the diminutive S04. I was impressed with the build quality, although I gather it wasn't driving all that well at the London show at which I first saw it. It will be good to see it again, in its full 2.3 metres of shortness, and hear about whether it has changed recently. There will be two variants of this one. The L6e version, limited to 28 miles an hour, which will sell for £11,300, and the L7e class variant, capable of 52 miles per hour, for £15,850. Having a dealer network to support it is great. That was a question in my mind from when Silence were selling direct. However, it seems a bit expensive in comparison to other market entrants. The Dacia Spring, for example. Let's see if it attracts much interest at that price. Let's move on to a relatively new brand in the UK, namely Jaecoo, who this year will bring us the Jaecoo E5. As you can see, this SUV seems to take its design cues from Range Rover. The details on this car are still a little thin on the ground. We know it has a 61 kWh LFP battery and a 155 kilowatt motor. It's hard to tell from the photos, but this is about the same length as the Nissan LEAF. Again, just a bit bigger than a Golf, but seems pretty roomy inside. Impressively, this car starts at about £27,500, with a high trim variant at just over £30,000. That seems to be quite a lot of car for the money. It should suit some families pretty well, although those with teenage children are likely to want something a bit bigger. I'm intrigued to get inside and see what it's like. Let's hope the car is better than Jaecoo's website, however, which is all over the shop. Several links go to the wrong places, including to information on the Jaecoo 7 at one point, and the tech data is not all that helpful. Next up, we have the new MG IM5 and IM6. I've been in an IM5 already, but haven't seen an IM6 up close, so those will be interesting. IM is an entirely separate brand in some parts of the world, but will be sold as MG IM here in the UK. These cars promise a step up in interior comfort and luxury compared to other MG models, and it will be good to get a better idea of how they are received at the show. The IM5 is a hatchback, probably a rival for the Tesla Model 3 or the Model S, and comes in three variants: rear-wheel drive, standard range and long range, and the all-wheel drive Performance. The standard range has a 73.5 kWh battery and a 217 kilowatt motor, plus peak DC rapid charging power of 153 kilowatts. It's no slow coach with a 0 to 62 time of 6.8 seconds and can be yours from just under £39,500. The long range has a larger 96.5 kWh battery and a 300 kilowatt motor, which offers a 0 to 62 sprint time of 4.9 seconds. It will charge faster as it has a peak DC rapid charging speed of 250 kilowatts and is priced from just under £45,000. Finally, the all-wheel drive Performance variant has that same 96.5 kWh battery, but this time offers motor power totaling 553 kilowatts from its two motors, bringing that sprint time down to just 3.2 seconds. All that can be yours from £48,500. This is a car that's just under 5 metres long in comparison to the Tesla Model S of just a hair over 5 metres. It has plenty of space in the back seats, as I can attest, and the hatch style offers practicality. The IM6 is an SUV, and unlike the IM5, not one I've seen much of yet. This seems to rival the Tesla Model Y, although it's about 20 centimetres longer. There are 3 variants available to start with: the Long Range, Performance and the Launch Edition. All of the variants come with a 96.5 kilowatt-hour battery and a peak DC rapid charging speed of 396 kilowatts, so the difference between them is more about the motors. The Long Range is rear-wheel drive and has a 300 kilowatt motor, whereas the Performance is all-wheel drive and offers a total of 553 kilowatts. The Launch Edition is based on the Performance but comes with air suspension. The Long Range starts from £48,000, the Performance from £51,000 and the Launch Edition starts at £53,000. Again, I will be intrigued to see how much interest there is in this over the weekend. And then onto the Geely EX5, another SUV from a relatively new Chinese brand to the UK. Geely is a name you might know, as this is the parent company owning Polestar, Volvo, Smart and Lotus, to name a few, but now we have them presenting directly as well. This is 4.6 metres in length, so slightly shorter than a Tesla Model Y, and starts from £32,000. The EX5 comes with a 60 kilowatt-hour battery and a 160 kilowatt motor, and might be an interesting option for slightly larger families to explore. It will also be my first time seeing the Cupra Tavascan, another 4.6 metre SUV. This one has a 77 kilowatt-hour battery and comes in several variants, split between Endurance and VZ monikers. The Endurance is rear-wheel drive and offers a 210 kilowatt motor, good for a sub 7 second 0 to 62. With a maximum DC rapid charging power of 135 kilowatts, this can do a 5 to 80% charge in 28 minutes and starts from a little over £47,000. Meanwhile, the VZ is all-wheel drive and offers 250 kilowatts total from its 2 motors, dropping the 0 to 62 by about 1.5 seconds, and can be yours from just under £56,000. Mercedes will be showing a number of cars, but I'm interested in seeing the Mercedes CLA, which seems to be a fantastic package, and the G580, the electric G-Class, although that is a long way out of my price range. Cars which have been out for a little while, but which I will be seeing for the first time, include the Mazda 6e, the Skoda Elroq, and the Audi A6 e-tron Avant. The Peugeot E408, and particularly the Ford Puma Gen E, will be getting some of my time, and I will also have a nose at the VW ID.7 Tourer and the Cadillac Lyriq. In all, there will be over 80 cars on show and to test drive, plenty that I haven't mentioned, of course. It's a big event for those who are EV curious, even if to confirm your suspicion that they are not for you. But it's not just about EVs. There will be a whole host of home energy kit on display indoors, home batteries, new heating solutions including heat pumps, and more besides. There are plenty of talks scheduled at the Home Energy Arena and the usual array in the Giga Theatre for a broader spectrum of talks about the energy transition. Also available is the eMobility area, including a test track for those interested in personal mobility, like e-bikes, scooters and boards. Lots of manufacturers to talk to if that's your cup of tea. Zapheap also features this year, bringing the ability to watch a couple of pilot episodes of a show based on the Scrap Heap Challenge format, but built around electric machines, as well as the ability to see the recording of the contraptions in action as the teams go up against one another between 4 and 5 each day. All in all, it should be a great show, and I'm looking forward to being there for as many hours as I can. The show programme is listed in the video description if you want more details, including travel information to the venue and the schedule of all of the talks they have planned. Also in the description is the link to the event website where you can purchase tickets if you haven't yet got yours. It's £10 per day per person this year, reduced to £7.50 for concessions and free for those aged 15 and under. However, you can get a 50% discount by joining the Stop Burning Stuff Patreon team on the free tier, and then looking towards the bottom of the post dated the 12th of September entitled "Really Bad News for the Battery EV Haters." Indeed, you can even gain free access if you have bought clothing from the Everything Electric store and wear it on the day, but of course it's too late if you haven't already done that. Hopefully this has whet your appetite and you might be interested in going to the show. I do recommend it if you can make it. It's a great chance to learn more about EVs and home energy all in one place. There are lots of test drives available from lots of manufacturers. If you're interested in those, then remember to take your driving licence, and you'll also need a DVLA check code. The link for that is also in the description. Note that some manufacturers just want the code, whereas others want to see the completed page, so maybe apply on your phone and then screenshot the results. That avoids losing it when the page eventually times out. I'll be at the show both days, all being well. Why not come up and say hello if you see me and manage to recognise me? That's not always easy the first time, but it would be great to meet you if you do. Drop me a comment if you're going to the show, letting me know what you are looking forward to, or perhaps would like to have seen there but haven't heard me mention. You can also leave feedback on the video if you'd like to do that. If you've liked this week's video, then it will be a huge help to me if you click the thumbs up button. And I would love to have you as a subscriber of the channel if you want to see more from me. Thanks.